Hello and welcome to the next YouTube video on my channel. I guess that if you have clicked on this video, really you want to find out about which gambit I am talking about and why you should never ever accept it. The game starts pretty classical with pawns to e4 and e5, on which we continue with pawn to d4. This is called the center game and we gambit our first pawn here. So black accepts the gambit by capturing our pawn here on d4, but we don't stop gambiting pawns. Now we gambit our c-pawn by moving it on c3. Black just thinks that we're just playing bad and gifting him pawns. So he captures our pawn here now, and now we don't capture back again with, for example, the knight here from b1 or with the pawn from b2, but we'll rather play bishop to c4, and now black captures our third pawn on b2, but this time we really have to capture back this pawn, because we really don't want to lose also our rook and gambit our rook, because this will be really a bit too much. So we capture now our opponent's pawn here on b2 with our queenside bishop. So this gambit right now is called the Danish gambit, but because of us sacrificing, or also called gambiting, two of our pawns, you can also call this gambit the double Danish gambit. So now in this position, after black's pawn, black's e-pawn, which somehow of the only 3 moves got on b2 is recaptured, white has really great attacking possibilities because of the 2 bishops here completely staring and attacking on black's king side of the chessboard, which is definitely the most dangerous side because of the king here standing on e8. Our opponent just continues with the game with the best move, just developing his knight on f6 now, also targeting and attacking our pawn here on e4. The best move actually, and the main line of the double Danish gambit, also called Danish gambit, would be to push now our e-pawn on e5 to attack our opponent's knight on f6. But if you want to continue with the trap, the checkmate in 15 moves trap, which I would like to show you in this video, you at first have to defend your now attacked e4 pawn with knight to c3. Black pins now our knight here by moving his bishop, his kingside bishop on b4, on which we really have really good chances to destroy our opponent in the following moves. But before I'll show you how, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to activate the announcement clock, so you won't miss anything new on my channel. Thank you. So here we have really good attacking and winning chances, because now we continue with another pawn sacrifice. We play knight to e2, not defending the already attacked pawn because of the pinned knight on c3 on e4, but we would rather just play knight to e2. So therefore our opponent can just without any problems capture our pawn here on e4, but this pawn sacrifice wasn't without an intention. Because in this position we can now finally do the short castling, also unpinning this very important knight on c3. So here black decides to trade knights or light chess pieces, so they capture our knight here on c3, on which we capture back with our knight from e2. And therefore this move, knight to e2, which didn't only enable to do the short castling in the following move, but also enabled us to capture back in this position with our knight from e2, the knight on c3, not losing the very important bishop in this game, which is the bishop here on b2. The crazy thing about this position is that on move 8 or 9, I think it is, white is 3 pawns down. That's actually the value of a light chess piece, so of a bishop or of a knight, but they are still, the computer says it, standing way better and in a winning position in comparison to black, their opponent. And in this position, it's now black's turn to do the short castling. They bring the rook in the center of the chessboard and have now more safety for the king by moving it behind this triple pawn wall. So if you got into this position with white, then you can also already say that you have basically won this game. Because from now on you just start attacking without even giving your opponent a little break to rest a bit, leading into checkmate on move 15. Starting with knight to d5, attacking your opponent's bishop on b4. And in most of the cases in this trap, black will continue with escaping with the bishop on c5. But actually, this is a big mistake. the computer says that the best move for black in this position is to play the crazy move queen to h4. That's not a bishop sacrifice, because after the knight on d5 has just captured black's bishop here on b5, the queen here just captures our bishop on c4, also attacking our knight now in this position on b4. But if our opponent does the mistakes and escapes with the bishop in this position on c5 and doesn't play instead queen to h4, then you play definitely the craziest move of the whole game. And that's knight to f6 with check again, and again just sacrificing your knight. So you can really see that through the development of the triple Danish Gambit here, or also called the double Danish Gambit, or just the Danish Gambit, we are just only sacrificing chess pieces all of the time, not only pawns, but in this position also the knight. So the queen on d8 can't just capture the knight here on f6 because of it being defended by our bishop on b2. Black, if black escapes with the king on h8, then we can either again sacrifice our knight by just capturing our opponent's pawn on h7, or we play queen to h5, threatening with checkmate in the following move on h7. And if our opponent pushes his h-pawn on h6, we just play queen to h5, and now the checkmate on h7 isn't stoppable for black anymore without losing lots of chess material. The third option for black in this position after our crazy knight sacrifice is to capture our knight with the g-pawn. But actually, none of these three variations, so either capturing with the queen, or escaping with the knight with the king on h8, or capturing our knight which we have sacrificed on the move v4 with the g7 pawn, is the better one, because we will still be able to win. Black has already lost in the moves before this even happened and can just resign the game. Because in this position we continue with queen to g4 with check, leaving only the h8 square for our opponent. And here we now play queen to h4, and checkmate isn't stoppable anymore. We attack this pawn here on f6 now with two chess pieces, and the only thing black can do is trying to defend this pawn also with the second chess piece by playing bishop to e7, but we have still something. We just play bishop to d3 in this position, threatening with checkmate on h7 on the following move, on the 15th move, however already announced in the video before, and black won't be able to do anything against us anymore. So this was the trap, and this is also the reason why with black you should never accept the double Danish Gambit, also called just the Danish Gambit. So this was it then already with this video, which I have shown you why not to accept this gambit. If you like the video, feel free to leave a like there and subscribe to my YouTube channel, SchachRomatt. Till next time, bye!